And in the same year, UPSC gives this long list of names: Alexander Ree, A.H. Longhurst, Robert Sewells, James Burgess, Walter Elliott. A direct question asked on Swift in the Geo-Scientist exam, then a statement dedicated to Swift in the Civil Services Preliminary Examination. Guys, the same rule applies. What is the learning? Comparing it with the previous question, safe motherhood intervention under NHM. Safe motherhood intervention under state health departments. Direct connection. Just the fact is twisted. Fact twist कर दिया, information वही पूछिए. 7 questions देखिए guys, 7 questions from Geo-Scientist paper and 7 questions from UPSC CSE prelims paper. There was pretty direct recycling in some questions. In some questions there was recycling of themes. उन्हीं क्वेश्चन पर पूछा गया है सवाल, right? What can be the possible reasons? All right, guys, let's start. I am Zeeshan Hashmi, Senior Program Lead at Civilsdaily. And today we are going to learn how UPSC recycles questions from other exams. Like it recycles questions not just from its past year papers, its PYQs, but other exams which UPSC conducts. Now, UPSC conducts various other exams like NDA, Geo-Scientist exam, and so on. Also, we'll learn how in 2023, 7 questions from the Geo-Scientist exam conducted by UPSC were recycled by UPSC in the Civil Services Prelims examination. Like 7 questions from one particular exam alone were recycled in 2023. And how we can expect further recycling in the 2024 paper. We'll be probing that in detail. Then we'll learn what are the reasons for such recycling. What are the possible reasons? And then we'll also understand how we can have a definite boost in score through trend analysis of these papers, these questions that UPSC frames apart from the Civil Services Prelims paper. Guys, we'll take 7 questions, 7 examples from Geo-Scientist paper 2023 and UPSC Prelims paper 2023 each. And we'll see how UPSC has made those direct linkages, those direct recyclings, and the learnings that we derive from it, so that we are better prepared for the upcoming prelims exam. So, for example, guys, as you can see on your screen, this was asked by UPSC in the Geo-Scientist 2023 paper. And the question was on Janani Suraksha Yojana. And guys, please pay attention to the highlighted section. It says GSY is a safe motherhood intervention under the National Health Mission. And the objective of GSY is to reduce maternal and neonatal mortality. So that was asked in this particular Geo-Scientist paper. But in the same year, UPSC asked this question in Civil Services Prelims paper. Statement 1 says, it is a safe motherhood intervention of the state health departments. And statement 2, its objective is to reduce maternal and neonatal mortality among poor pregnant women. Comparing it with the previous question, safe motherhood intervention under NHM. Safe motherhood intervention under state health departments. Direct connection. Just the fact is twisted. Fact twist कर दिया, information वही पूछिए. Statement 2, objective of GSI is to reduce maternal and neonatal mortality. Again, objective is to reduce maternal and neonatal mortality. Same information has been asked without even having a slight twist in statement 2. In statement 1, same information has been asked, but with a twist of fact. Guys, I hope you get the point. And let's understand what is the learning here. The learning is probing the basics of the given keyword, key phrase, or events becomes important. Say, for example, here the key phrase or the point of interest for us is the JSY, Janani Suraksha Yojana. If it has been asked in this paper, now we are discussing Geo-Scientist paper, so we'll restrict our discussion to Geo-Scientist paper only. Geo-Scientist के पेपर में अगर ये क्वेश्चन पूछा है, तो हमारा काम ये है कि we go through the paper and we at least have basic information, basic understanding with respect to the points being discussed, points being asked. Same year में, क्योंकि वही point repeat हो रहे हैं Civil Services Prelims examination में. So this is the learning that we have derived from question number 1. or two questions that we have compared from both the papers, Geo-Scientist paper and Civil Services Prelims paper. Moving ahead, guys. Now, UPSC had asked this question again in Geo-Scientist exam 2023. And the keyword here was Swift. The question was asked on Swift. Which of the following statements relating to Swift is or are correct? In the same year, guys, in Civil Services Prelims Examination 2023, as you can see the highlighted section, UPSC had made this reference to Swift. A direct question asked on Swift in the Geo-Scientist exam, then a statement dedicated to Swift in the Civil Services Preliminary Examination. Guys, the same rule applies. What is the learning? Probe the basics of the given keyword, phrase, or event given out there in the Geo-Scientist paper. Say, for example, here, if we have read this paper, if we have read this question, we are sure that UPSC has asked a question on Swift. So we would at least probe the basics of Swift. Kya hota hai? What does it pertain to? Applications and so on. Then we'll be in a much better position to answer this question in 2023. ठीक है, जिस बंदे ने इस तरह से प्रिपेयर किया होगा. और guys, this is horizontal anchoring. PYQ anchoring vertical होता है. Like we go backwards 24 से पीछे 23, 22, 21, 20, 2020, 2019. Now this is horizontal. सेम ईयर में यूपीएससी जो दूसरे पेपर्स में क्वेश्चन पूछ रही है, उनसे हम क्या सीख डिराइव कर सकते हैं, so that we get that edge in the paper. Moving ahead to the next set of questions, guys. Again, UPSC had asked this question in the Geo-Scientist exam 2023, and the question was, who among the following was the first to decipher the Ashokan inscriptions? Okay, so XYZ यहाँ पर correct answer हमारे लिए important नहीं है. The importance here lies in the theme. किस theme पर question पूछा गया है? Let's compare this with another question asked by UPSC in the Civil Services Prelims exam. And the question was this: with reference to the Indian history, Alexander Ree, A.H. Longhurst, Robert Sewell, James Burgess, and Walter Elliot were associated with. And the correct answer was archaeological excavations. Guys, क्या linkage draw हो रहा है? If we are observing both these questions objectively, what is the linkage that is being drawn? Here, the learning is that probing other personalities related to archaeology from British era becomes important. Why does it become important? Because in the Geo-Scientist 2023 paper, UPSC had given names of 4 different personalities, 4 different people from the British era, and it has asked which of them is related to Ashokan inscriptions, which means archaeology and archaeologists from the British era are hot on UPSC's radar. At least we should have a broad idea. Like, we are not expected to do PhD. At least having a broad idea is expected. And in the same year, UPSC gives this long list of names. Alexander Ree, A.H. Longhurst, Robert Sewell, James Burgess, Walter Elliot were associated with. And guys, this was a very shocking question for students in the exam hall. Students were shocked after seeing this question. But if we go through this horizontal anchoring method, horizontal anchoring route, and if we have at least consolidated the basics of archaeology during the British era, or the personalities involved in archaeology during the British era, we would have been in a better situation to answer this question. So that's the learning, guys. No claims are being made here. Just the learnings are being discussed. If we go this way, by comparing the questions asked by UPSC in different papers in the same year, how can we be better prepared for the upcoming Prelims 2024 exam? So this was a learning. Moving ahead to the next set of questions. Guys, again, this was asked by UPSC in the Geo-Scientist 2023 exam. And the question was on beta decay. Beta decay. Similarly, in the same year, UPSC has asked in CSE Prelims 2023 a question on beta. Now, guys, think for yourself, even if you didn't know the correct answer, but we know that UPSC has asked a question on beta decay. And if we probe the very basics of what is beta decay or what is beta, then you would have certainly known that it is the second letter in the Greek alphabet. And if it is a second letter in the Greek alphabet, it implies something. We are brushing up the very basic aspects of beta or beta decay for that matter. and then we are faced with this question in the examination hall. The term beta in the context of finance, what does it mean? Then आंसर पता भी नहीं है, लेकिन क्योंकि हमको बीटा के बारे में बेसिक्स पता है, सेकंड लेटर है ग्रीक अल्फाबेट का, then we are at least in the position to take risk in the examination hall. Fine, we are not completely blank. And why? Because we have compared other questions asked by UPSC in the same year in the other exams conducted by it. Guys, let's move to the other set of examples. The learning here was, the learning in the previous question that we discussed was, acquaint yourself with the basics of the given keyword, phrase, event. अब यहाँ पे event क्यों लिखा है? Probably if that question is from history pertaining to some event, आपको उसके basics brush up करने पड़ेंगे. Moving to the next question. Guys, this was asked by UPSC in the Geo-Scientist paper 2023. The question was, the structure of Mahanavami Dibba is situated in which one of the following places? अब correct answer यहाँ पर important नहीं है. The correct answer by the way is Hampi. But what is important is this next question asked by UPSC in the same year in CSE Prelims 2023. It was on Vijay Nagar Empire pertaining to construction of a large dam across Tungabhadra river. So पिछला वाला question जो था, it was on the Mahanavami Dibba, again pertaining to, again related to the Vijay Nagar Empire. Same year, different paper, CSE Prelims, Vijay Nagar Empire, large dam constructed across Tungabhadra river. Guys, what is the learning here? The learning is probing important structures from the Vijay Nagar Empire becomes important. And why does it become important? Once we read this question on Mahanavami Dibba, as it says, the structure of Mahanavami Dibba is situated in XYZ, whatever the case might be. So here, we know that UPSC has asked a question on important structure from the Vijay Nagar Empire, or Hampi for that matter. So at least the important structures we are expected to know. Then comes this question in the same year, large dam constructed in the Vijay Nagar Empire. And so this learning that important structures were important from prelims point of view, for civil services prelims point of view, because it was already asked in the Geo-Scientist exam. The theme is same. Theme nahi badal rahi hai. ठीक है? If we are able to deduce the theme, interpret the theme and prepare accordingly, we will be in a much better position to answer the question. जैसे हमने इस question का example लिया, यहाँ पर देवराया 1 could be easily answered अगर हमने इन structures को properly study किया है, important structures को study किया है from the Vijayanagar period, because this question was asked in the Geo-Scientist paper 2023. Guys, let's move to the next set of questions. Now, UPSC had asked this question in the Geo-Scientist 2023 exam, and the emphasis in the first statement was on electoral college for election of president, and statement 2, elected members of the legislative assemblies of Union Territories of Delhi and Puducherry take part in the election. Guys, in the same year, UPSC had asked this question, which was a difficult question, but the emphasis was on again the electoral college of the president. As you can see, the highlighted section in statement 1. Statement 4, value of vote of each MLA of Pondicherry is higher than that of Arunachal Pradesh. So that's a stark linkage being drawn. What is the learning here? The learning here is go one step ahead. Say for example, here we have a reference to, or here we need to clear our concepts with respect to electoral college of presidential elections, and we need to do comparative analysis of vote value. Guys, in my sessions, those students who are already enrolled in Dominate, unko pata hai, we call it different levels of analysis. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 of PYQ anchoring. Fine. यहाँ पर हम simple भाषा का use कर रहे हैं. If you go back to the earlier question asked in the Geo-Scientist exam, guys, clear है, electoral college के ऊपर question पूछा है, तो it's expected कि electoral college पर question आ सकता है. थोड़ा और एक step आगे जाकर हम पढ़ेंगे. Statement 2, Union UT of Delhi and Pondicherry का direct reference दिया है और बोला कि they take part in the elections. थोड़ा और एक step आगे जाकर probe करेंगे. Still guys, this question might still appear very difficult in the examination hall. Let's not oversimplify and say कि ये question बिल्कुल आसान हो जाएगा. But I am sure that you are able to draw that linkage. किस तरह से Geo-Scientist exam में same theme पर question पूछा, UPSC prelims में उसी theme पर question repeat कर लिया from the polity domain. If we had probed those areas in a greater detail, we would have been in a much better position to answer this question. Guys, let's move to the last set of questions from 2023. Now, this was asked by UPSC in the Geo-Scientist exam 2023. Which one of the following is the lagoon? Now, here the correct answer doesn't matter. Here our philosophy is all the keywords, all the options given in the paper by UPSC hold value. They are important. They are on the radar of the paper setter or UPSC. So you have Koleru over here. So our job is to have at least basic information about Pulicat, Deeporbil, Koleru, Gohna. क्यों रखना है हमको basic information? क्यों हमको brush up करना है? Because UPSC has asked this in the Geo-Scientist paper 2023. In the same year, UPSC asks this question. Statement 2 is the point of interest. Krishna river directly feeds Koleru lake. बहुत ज्यादा मुश्किल स्टेटमेंट नहीं है, लेकिन if we are in a position where we have brushed up the thing asked in the previous paper, we'll be more comfortable in answering or in tackling statement number 2. The learning again is the same. Acquaint yourself with the basics of the given keyword, key phrase, event, etc. asked in the other contemporary or other parallel papers asked by UPSC. Those have high chances of being replicated either directly or indirectly in the UPSC Civil Services Prelims exam. अभी जो हमने 7 क्वेश्चन देखे गाइस, 7 क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम Geo-Scientist paper and 7 questions from UPSC CSE prelims paper. There was pretty direct recycling in some questions. In some questions there was recycling of themes. उन्हीं क्वेश्चन पर पूछा गया है सवाल, right? What can be the possible reasons why there is so much replication, so much recycling happening? अभी तो हमने एक ही पेपर का एग्जांपल लिया. When we take examples of other papers, NDA, CAPF and other papers, और ज्यादा linkages और ज्यादा हमको recycling देखने को मिलेगी. So what is the possible reason for this recycling of questions? One can be standardization. Guys, when anyone or any institution follows a standardization process and you have some questions of standard quality, reliable quality, then these things happens either consciously or subconsciously. चाहकर ना चाहकर भी अच्छे क्वालिटी के क्वेश्चन जो है वो रेप्लिकेट हो जाते हैं, be it any institution. करिकुलम अलाइनमेंट. गाइस, व्हेन इट कम्स टू जीएस जनरल स्टडीज के जब हम बात करते हैं, सुमित को शायद नींद आ रही है. सुमित, I'll allow you guys to unmute. आप बात करोगे तो फिर बोर नहीं होगे. गाइस, करिकुलम अलाइनमेंट जनरल स्टडीज की अगर बात करें, थोड़ा बहुत डिफरेंशिएशन डिवीजन हो सकता है सिलेबस में. से फॉर एग्जांपल सिलेबस ऑफ सीएससी प्रीलिम्स एग्जाम, जीएस की सिलेबस की बात कर रहे हैं, कंपेयर टू सिलेबस ऑफ जियो साइंटिस्ट एग्जाम, एनडीए एग्जाम, सीएपीएफ एग्जाम. जनरल स्टडीज के सिलेबस में डेविएशन हो सकता है, लेकिन कॉन्वर्जेंस भी काफी होता है. तो एंड दैट एग्जैक्ट करिकुलर अलाइनमेंट allows this kind of replication of questions. Then guys, resource constraints. अब यहाँ पर रिसोर्स कंस्ट्रेंट्स का मतलब ये नहीं पता कि यूपीएससी, ये इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि यूपीएससी के पास रिसोर्सेस नहीं है, बहुत रिसोर्सेस हैं, बट हियर रिसोर्स कंस्ट्रेंट्स मीन दैट the quality of pool, the quality of knowledge pool, the quality of information pool, or the quality of question pool any institution has will be limited. Fine, that's how any system works. And the best things, the best information, best questions get picked. So that's how resource constraints allows for replication of questions. Again, point number 4 is related to resource constraints only. Question validation. Guys, जैसे हमने यहाँ पर एग्जांपल लिया था, वैलिडेशन किस तरह से हो रहा है? से फॉर एग्जांपल जननी सुरक्षा योजना. अब जननी सुरक्षा योजना के दोनों स्टेटमेंट्स बिल्कुल उसी तरह यूपीएससी प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन में यूपीएससी ने रेप्लिकेट कर दिए. मतलब आफ्टर द रिव्यू प्रोसेस एंड आफ्टर द वैलिडेशन प्रोसेस, the team, the paper setting team or UPSC found this to be a good question, a good quality question and a reliable question. So that's why बिल्कुल उसी तरह से without much change इसको recycle कर दिया. So guys, that's how validation works. So possible reasons for replication of questions either directly or indirectly, and replication of themes takes place. And fifth, definitely other. We can't claim to know each and every facet of why the questions are being replicated. Okay, there can be some hidden areas that we don't know, but we know for sure that questions are being replicated, questions are being recycled. Okay, and that is what matters. क्योंकि यहां से हमको पता चल रहा है कि हमको और बेटर प्रिपेयर्ड रहना है फॉर प्रीलिम्स 2024 by using these other papers being framed by UPSC. Now guys, here comes the next part. Now this is not for the students who are already enrolled in Dominate. This is for the other students, new student jo hai. Guys, this exact philosophy we are following in the Dominate Prelims program. The latest one, the latest batch is Dominate Prelims Score Booster batch, in which you will only get recorded sessions plus a few live paper solving practice sessions with me. So no tests, no one-on-one mentorship calls, but recorded sessions and live paper solving sessions with me. That's the structure, and the course fees is given here. And this is the final batch, guys. This is the final batch where the course fees have been lowered and all the other deliverables have been removed. Minimalist rakha hai isko, only with logic booster workshops, predict prelims workshop, and a few live sessions for paper solving practice. Fine guys, let's end it here. Thanks for joining in. Hello, good night.